Zoltar's opener is literally the perfect opener. It's fun, powerful, engaging, and the best part is it's super easy to do.
Harry, I've got a pack of these mind-reading playing cards, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've got no idea how they work, but they always seem to.
With Zoltar's opener, you receive everything you need to perform this effect straight out of the box. The online tutorial, as well as the custom design playing cards, and of course the tuck case, which involves everything you need to perform it.
The mind reader has got a message for you on the bottom of the box.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it says, think of a card.
Okay. 7.5. Right.
He means it. He really does mean it.
Right.
52 different cards you could have named. 52 different cards. You can see they are all different.
Yeah.
In fact, you chose 7 of hearts. Hold your hand out for me. The 7's going to go on your hand. Now, the mind reader knew that out of all these cards, you would choose a red card, you would choose a heart, and it will be the 7. And I can prove it, because each one of these cards has got a standard red back, but turn over the 7, where the mind reader would have left his mark.
No way. How? What the hell?
And that is Zoltar's opener.
There's multiple different ways of performing Zoltar's opener, including a slightly longer storytelling piece, or if you want to strip it back, just a direct mind-reading miracle. As I said earlier on, Zoltar's opener is super easy to perform, and it goes without saying that it works with any thought of card. I'm Harry Nardi, and welcome to Zoltar's opener by my dad, Peter Nardi.
Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Alakazam Live. We've got a bit of a spooky feel this week because one of our customers sent us a message this morning asking us if we can ask you what your favourite spooky effects for Halloween are. So pop them in the chat, your spooky effects. We've got a few here to show you as well. And you've just seen the trailer of Zoltar's opener. We sent out an email on this last night. They sold out within about 2 hours. We've got more coming in either the end of this week or early next week, so you can pre-order yours now if you haven't already got one. But as usual, we are joined by the legend, Mr. Wayne Goodman. Here he is. And my phone's going off.
It's not me. I'm not calling you.
So how's everything with you, Wayne?
Well, in the 5 minutes since I spoke to you, well, 10 minutes since I spoke to you last, we've had a massive storm here, and it did knock my power out for a second. So if I get a bit glitchy or anything, it might be that the power's gone off or something. So we'll have to play it by ear. It's not part of a trick. If I suddenly go and your card is, and then I just disappear, it's not part of the trick. I really have been zapped away.
So, firstly, I want to say thank you for coming down and joining Harry on the live. I caught up with the live after the event, but I did watch the live launch live, which was great. It was, do you know what? It actually was so much fun watching it from the other side.
From the other side.
Yeah, really liked it.
It was Harry and Andy both treated me like a proper, gentleman, and cups of tea and lunch, and then Harry and I went out for dinner. We asked everyone where we should go, and then we just went to Five Guys anyway.
Five Guys is amazing.
It was my first time ever. It was good. And then the evening was, it blew by because we didn't do an after party. So we did a slightly longer show to accommodate, because there was like, it just wasn't one of those things you could really do much for an after party for. So there's no unboxing or anything like that. So so we did a bit of a longer show, and it was great. It was really, really good fun. But thanks for having me down.
It was really good. And you are going to be coming.
Did you have a good holiday?
Oh, it was amazing. Jenny done an amazing job, because we basically travelled around parts of the UK. So it felt like we were away for a month, because every couple of days we were moving. So we did Wales, Yorkshire, up to the Lake District, Newcastle, Liverpool, York. And it was great. And if anyone follows me on Facebook or whatever you do on Facebook, you would have seen the zip wire we went on as well.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was very scary. Someone keeps ringing me and it's a foreign number. So I'm going to drop a trailer, Craig, of a spooky little effect.
Who's Craig?
Wayne. So I've got loads. I've got texts coming up.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
I've got comments coming, texts coming up, and phone calls. It's stopped now, but it was a foreign number, and it's going again. I'm going to drop a trailer, and we'll be back in a moment.
Find out who this person is.
Yeah.
See them.
Okay.
I'm proper freaked out by that.
Okay, I want you to imagine the scene. I want you to imagine the dark streets. I want you to imagine a cold, drizzly atmosphere. You can see the street lamps and you can see the sign for the police station. You've heard of Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper terrorised the streets of London in 1888. Now, 20 years later, there was another killer in London. And that killer was nicknamed by the world press, the Collector. And the reason for that nickname was he would take something, or he or she would take something from the victim's body. And that was the first noted case of what we now know as serial killers keeping trophies from their murders. And this was also the first documented case where the police used a psychic to help them with their investigation. And it's going to be your job to play the part of the psychic detective. Over here in this envelope, I have some photographs of the possessions that were taken, which I'll show you in a moment. And over here we have got the 10 suspects. They're all different. Obviously we have Benjamin, Henry, William, George, Thomas, Victoria. There was a mixture of men and women. Just close your eyes and I want you to think for a moment. Okay, I want you to imagine the scene. I want you to imagine the dark streets. I want you to imagine a cold, drizzly atmosphere. You can see the street lamps and you can see the sign for the police station. You're going to go inside and you're going to sit down and look at all the evidence. And immediately a number comes to mind. What number?
8.
Just think of any number. Have you got one?
Yeah.
What number do you have?
6.
6. Okay, and there's no way that I could have known you were going to pick number 6. You had no idea you were going to pick number 6.
No.
Okay. We are going to deal down 6. And we've come to Jason. Jason is the suspect that you chose, and you could have had anyone. You could have had Margaret, you could have had Benjamin, Henry, William, George, Thomas, Victoria, Ophelia, Elizabeth. You could have had any one of these killers, but you chose Jason. Now remember, at the beginning I told you inside here I had the objects that were taken from the bodies. The envelope is empty, but inside you'll see that one of the objects he took was a pocket watch. The other one was a key. The other one was a perfume bottle, a diamond engagement ring, and a pipe. Each one of these was from a different victim. And the reason he took them was so he felt closer to the victims. In fact, he really wanted to feel close, that he engraved his initial, one initial from each letter of his name on the back of each object. In fact, on the back of the pocket watch was found a big J. On the back of the key was found an A. On the back of the perfume bottle was an S. On the back of the ring was an O. And the pipe was an N.
No.
Finding Jason. I don't know how you did it, but if you ever need another job, I think a psychic investigator is right up your street.
I'm proper freaked out by that.
How cool is that?
That was really good. I'm a bit scared though.
Man, you are psychic.
That is fantastic. That is really, really good.
How
really
cool is
great. That is awesome. That is really, really good. That's
I'm
really
glad
cool.
you like
Me.
it. Oh,
I love that.
Spooky. It's one of my favourite
I was
effects.
going to say, well, your phone call, have you just been contacted by a Nigerian prince?
No, I did answer it though. It was someone from Spain, so I've got to ring them back after the live. But yeah, so guys, let me know let us know what your favourite Halloween spooky tricks are, because the Collector, which I just showed you there, is one of my favourites by Nicholas Mavresis. I put the story towards it. David Jonathan helped Nicholas with the method as well. And it's such a great trick. It's just so clean.
I love it.
So
I love it. I've
clean.
got it in my it's in my suit jacket. It stays there. It's such a great. I was very lucky. My friend Andy bought me the wallet to go with it, so I've got the wallet that goes with it as well. And it's just such a beautiful. It's one of those tricks that you really make a connection with the spectator. I've done, because I use the same sort of pattern as you do. I want you to imagine the street, etc. And one lady went, "Oh, I think it's raining," and she was imagining it was raining, and she could feel the rain. She was imagining it, so she was so into the story. Oh yeah, it's great. Proper storytelling magic. Great storytelling magic.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there are some great things if you go out and you perform magic, especially in October, where we've got Halloween coming up. There are some really good spookier type effects that are coming out, or that are out actually. And Jamie Dawes is someone whose name is very connected with this sort of stuff as well. And we've bought out, quite a few products from his Dark series, like his Xena Murders are in stock. We've got Deceased to Return. I've got a trailer for this to play in a moment. Obviously, we've got the Collector, which you've just seen the trailer for. We've seen Scream, which is a great jump scare type effect.
Yeah.
And this one by Jim Critchlow is once again a brilliant effect, Till Death. This fooled me so bad when I saw it the first time.
That's another one of my favourite tricks today. I love it.
Yeah, and you can put a really great story to it.
Well, it's another great storytelling trick. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and the first time I saw this, me and Jen were in Blackpool, and we usually sort of sit down with Jim, because Jim's always got something quirky. And it's not that he's always got a product to sell. He hasn't. He's just got quirky stuff. He showed me one of the best any numbers I've ever seen. And then he showed me, do you remember the old finger chopper, where you used to have a wooden board like this, and then you had a lock knife, you would put it in and it would just slice down the finger.
Oh yeah.
So he showed me that, and he said, "Oh, but I've got a stage version if you want to see it." So I went, "Yeah, all right." So he's bought out this big wooden guillotine, and he's got like a lock knife, but it's obviously a display from a shop, because it was a penknife, but about this big. And he sort of opened it up and done it, and he does all this stuff in the pub in Blackpool, and he's great. And me and Jen were in there one evening. He said, "Oh, can I show you something?" And he showed us Till Death, performed it on Jen, and even as a magician, the hairs on my back and everything were just standing up. I was just sort of, do you know what I mean? Really, really get you. The story just really sort of engaged you and drew you in. Oh, and someone said actually they love The Given by Jamie Dawes. Just to let you know, if you like The Given, we have got The Given coming out on Pro Size, and we're hoping to have that done by the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks. We should have that in with any luck. So they've been redesigned on our Pro Size stock, and they look gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
I love the Pro Size. Pro Size is great for tricks like Collectors and The Given, and any of those. Like I've got The Deceased, The Return. I've got that on Pro Size. It's just great. That's such a great size card to handle and for the spectator to hold as well. I love the Pro Size cards. It's the way forward.
Yeah, I love them. I mean, obviously they suit certain tricks better than others. There's another thing which I was hoping to have out in the next couple of weeks. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. Some of you may have seen a little picture I put up on Facebook a couple of months ago. It's all contained in here. It is a new spin on an ALAKAZAM classic effect. This is something that I created basically for myself. It's a version of a trick that we already released, but everything is self-contained within this beautiful little wallet. So it's all custom made, and that's it. That's the effect in there. And hopefully that will be out soon. You obviously know what it is, but the people at home don't.
Play with it. No, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to say anything.
Don't say anything.
Nothing. My lips are sealed.
So there's a lot of people actually. Roy Smith saying the spirit slates from Tackling Terrifying Taboos, combined with Pocket Ouija, some of his favourites. The Given by Jamie Dawes, Scream, The Collector. So there's some really good spooky effects out there. We've got another trailer to play as well, and you're going to perform a trick which I think fits into this category. All right, it's not spooky, it's not about ghosts, but it's that great, you can put that great story to it of the old manor house and the murders that go on and things like that. And once again, this is another great idea by Mr. Dawes.
Do you want me to do it first, or do you want to do a trailer first?
What would you prefer?
I don't know. I'm you know me. I'm like Sunday mornings.
All right then. Well, let's do the trick then. Let's do the trick.
All right.
I'll put you on full screen, but you'll still be able to hear me, so I can still answer your questions.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. Hello. So yeah, this is one I use this all the time. And I love it. I do love it. And we're going to play a little game, not like Saw. We're going to play a little game. And me and my daughter, we travel around a lot. She comes with me to gigs and stuff. If I'm traveling away, she comes out to Alakazam with me. And so we've got a lot of travel games that we play. And one of our favourites is Cluedo. And there's a little travel edition you can get called Clued Up. And this is a smaller version, you don't have a board or anything, and it's like a card game, and you get some cards with it. Now, what I've also got here, I'm going to tilt this down for the performance. What I have got, you can see my cool pajamas, because I'm in my pajama trousers. I didn't think about that when we were getting ready, were I? Well, I've not been well, Pete. I've not been well for the last couple of days.
No, you haven't been well, bless you.
And Charlie's off school. Charlie's just gone back to her mum. She's not very well either. But this is the box that it comes with, Clued Up. And the idea of the game is very, very simple. I've also got this here. This is the answer. That's the result. So I'm going to leave that there, and that's the result. So we'll look at that at the very, very end. But the idea of the game is really, really simple. You have a smaller selection than you normally get in the game, but you've got to try and work out who is the murderer, who is the suspect, so the suspect, the weapon, and the location. Now, what we've got here is we've got W4, 3, 2, and 1, and that's because it's the weapons. And then we've got suspect 1, 2, 3. Actually, let me put them into the same order. Oh, that is right. Suspect 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then location 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it says the same on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're exactly the same on both sides. And what I will show you here as well, without showing you what's in here, is at the top of the card, it will also say weapon 1, it will correlate with the envelope. So this one will say weapon 2, weapon 3, weapon 4, and this will say location 1, location 2. So there's no kind of influence here. You're going to have a completely free choice, and it's as free as I can make it all the way through. So Peter, which one would you like to choose first? Weapon, suspect, or location?
We're going to go for suspect.
Suspects first. Is that because I told you that thing I told you earlier?
Yeah.
So whenever I perform this for lay people, they always go for the weapons first. It's always the most popular choice. So you've got a choice here. You've got suspect 1, suspect 2, suspect 3, or suspect 4. And what you're going to do is you're going to name one, and I'm going to paste that envelope over here with these ones. And then at the end, we're going to go through these and show you the ones you didn't choose before we look at the ones that you did.
Okay. I'm going to go for suspect 4, please.
Suspect 4. So I'm going to take suspect 4 out. I'm just going to place it here. Actually, I'll go through these very quickly now so we can make some space on here. If you'd have gone for suspect number 1, as you can see, it says suspect number 1 at the top. If I get it in shot, it will do. There we go. Suspect number 1 is Miss Peacock. Nothing else inside the envelope. But you've eliminated her as a suspect, so we can get rid of her because she's no longer. So you think
she's innocent?
She's innocent. Free Mrs. Peacock. Now, if you're on for suspect number 2, you'll see here it is Mr. Green.
Oh,
and it's with he's innocent, gone.
He's innocent.
And
let him go.
3, Professor Plum.
Professor Plums.
So Professor Plum is gone. Now, normally in a normal game of Cluedo, you'd have, I think, 6 characters. So they've obviously taken a couple out, but some people like to have a guess now what think it might be, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, I'll now choose another spectator. Obviously, just you here today, Peter. But you can choose weapon or location.
I'm going to go for weapon.
Weapon. And which weapon are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for weapon 2, if you don't mind.
Weapon 2. I'm going to take it out and place it here. So let's have a look at the weapons that it wasn't, or you don't think it was. You don't think it was the candlestick?
No, definitely not.
That would be a horrible way to go, so I'm quite pleased about that. You didn't think it was the rope?
No.
Okay, so we can get rid of that. And you didn't think it was the poison?
No.
Another horrible way to go. That just leaves us with the location. So which location would you like to go for?
I want to go for number 1, please.
Location 1, which means you don't think the murder happened in the lounge.
No, I don't.
And you don't think the murder happened in the games room.
No.
And you don't think the murder happened in the bathroom. Which leaves us with just these 3 here. Now, you could have chosen any one. You could have had location 1, weapon 2, and suspect 4. We're not going to open this just yet. But you went for suspect number 4. Actually, we'll do suspect last. Let's look at the location first. So the first location, location number 1, as it says at the top, is the kitchen. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to place it on top of there like that. Okay, now weapon. You chose weapon number 2, and weapon number 2 is, any ideas?
Gun.
Oh, look at that. I knew you were the right person. I knew you were the right person because you picked up on the fact it was a gun. Although somebody was shot in the kitchen, it'd probably be quite easy to tell that there'd be a lot of blood there. And of course, you chose suspect number 4. And suspect number 4 is, are you ready for this?
Yep.
Miss Scarlet.
Oh, never trusted her.
Miss Scarlet. You never trusted her?
No.
Well, it is a funny thing. It is a funny thing. The kitchen, the revolver, and Miss Scarlet. Now, these cards in here, they do actually line up a little bit as well, because if I open up the envelope, they don't say, I can take them out, they don't say suspect 1 or suspect 4 at the top. They actually say evidence. So whatever these are, they are actually what happened. So we'll see how many of these you got right. And when we go to the location, it says evidence. In fact, if I can't really do it without showing it to you, actually. Can I do it like that? Evidence. There, it says evidence on there.
Yep.
And the evidence shows that the location was the kitchen.
Ooh. Boy,
And then if we go to the next one.
Evidence.
You are. Well, you picked right up on that. The evidence. Now, you said gun. You said gun before I even pulled it out.
Yeah.
So that might have been a lucky guess, or as I believe, you were spot on the money.
Whoa. I'm pretty good at this.
But did you get the right murderer? I mean, it was pretty obviously that the murdered person was shot. There was loads of blood in the kitchen. They're quite obvious to work out from the clues. But did you get the suspect right? And you chose Miss Scarlett. You said you never liked her, and you were right to, because right there we have Miss Scarlett. 3 for 3. It's never been done before. I do feel though, Pete, that I kind of gave you a couple of clues before we got here.
I don't think so.
If I turn the box over, well, if I turn the box over, when I showed you the front, I did say clued up, but I actually pointed like this. I said clued up, and I'm actually pointing at Miss Scarlett holding a gun outside the house.
Oh.
Can you see that?
I can.
It's a bit subtle though, isn't it?
Yeah.
People might not have picked up on that. But if I turn the box over, when I place the envelope on it here, I deliberately left these 3 bits on view here. And if I showed it up to the box, you can see it does say Miss Scarlett with the revolver in the kitchen.
And the kitchen.
Right there, printed on the box.
That is such a good trick. I love that trick. They're the pro size ones there, aren't they? Or you got poker?
No, they're poker.
Poker. They're still nice.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Do you know what? I thought they were pro size until you just mentioned that, but no, they are the poker. I thought I might have to pick up a pro size as well. Yeah, I mean the pictures are great. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that was all designed by AD.
He's such a genius, AD is. Everything looks like it comes straight out of the actual game. You know, there's nothing on their suspect. You know, it's such a... And it's basically self-working as well.
Yeah.
You know, to be fair, there's no sleight of hand or, you know, weird-looking props. It's just a bunch of envelopes and a bunch of cards inside a box. It all comes complete. That's how I present it. I bring this because I use the 2 revelations on the box as well at the end. So I bring it all out. And it does get... It's a bit different watching me doing it to you on here. When you do it with a group of people, I normally have 3 people make choices. I really ham up the presentation. I get them after the revelations. You did it, but I actually get the audience to go dun 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 after each revelation is made. You know, and it really builds to it, and you can really go to embellish and storytelling.
And the thing is, you could, you know, if you were going to do it parlour, you could get someone up. You could stick a deer stalker on them. You could give them a magnifying glass. And they're going to go out and have a look at the audience and find someone that's going to choose a suspect. Do you know what I mean? And you can really build it up. I think we discussed things like that on the actual the video as well, because it can play a lot bigger than just a close-up thing. But like you said, getting multiple people involved, and there's no work to it. Such a lovely trick. But for me, it sort of lends itself...
They choose the numbers themselves. There's no trying to influence them. There's no weird counting down to it. They choose a number. You take that number out and put it to the side. You know, it's... and I have done it different ways as well. I have done it before where I show the 3 suspects they didn't choose and then show them the one that they did. And then other times I don't show them the three choices until the end. Both play equally well, really. It's one of those that you can have a lot of fun with it as well. You know, you can really add a lot to the presentation and make it your own, which is what I love about, you know, those kind of tricks.
Yeah, and no, I agree.
That fits inside your inside coat pocket. It's always good to go. And if you're doing a group like a table, etc., and you want to get everyone involved, do you guys, you know, are you all family? Like when I'm in a restaurant, I use this a lot in the restaurants. Are you a family? Oh, you know, after this, you're going home. You put a movie on. Are you gonna make a hot chocolate? You're gonna play some games. Take a game. Me and my daughter love to play Cluedo. We can't really set up a board here, but I have got a small travel edition, and then I go straight into it. And it's one of those that everybody knows Cluedo. Even when I first showed that to Charlie, she'd never played Cluedo. It's one of the games we hadn't actually played, and that kind of inspired me to get a set, and now we play it all the time. So we've got Cluedo Liars edition.
things like mysteries or murder movies, but like the old black and white ones in the manor house, anything to do with a manor house, I love it. I love that sort of theme. That's the type of image, you know, like Hound of the Baskervilles and things like that, where you really get the essence and the feeling. And when I was performing this over Zoom, because it's perfect for Zoom as well, but when I was performing it over Zoom, I would set the scene as I did with the collector, and it will be, you know, imagine you've been invited to this party. And it's at, you know, you drive up, there's this old manor house. When you walk in, there's a lot of people, you've never seen them before, but you've all been invited. And after dinner, you know, you all split up and you hear a sound, and it's a scream, and you all run down, and then, you know, you build it up like that. It's foggy and rainy outside, and I think it's a great one. I think it's a great one that can really sort of, it plays all year, like all of the spooky tricks do. They all play all year, but they sort of come to their own in if you're putting together a little horror performance or a little spooky performance. They all sort of come together and lend themselves to that. I've really done that nicely.
All year round, but around this time of the year, it really comes into its own. It really plays well because, you know, I'm at my residency at the end of the month. And so it'll be that, collectors, everything with a bit of a horror theme or a bit of something that I can add a bit of a theme to. Hello, sorry, my neighbour. Then yeah, they can see through my door because I've opened the blinds. They can. Yeah, you know, anything that I can lean towards the Halloween, because it's obviously going to be Halloween when I'm in the restaurant. So that's going to play nicely. Collectors, the Deceased 2, The Return, I'll be using that a lot. I picked that up, done at AlakazamMagicUK a couple of weeks ago.
It's
even Zoltar's opener.
Pardon?
Even Zoltar's opener can have a bit of a, you know,
a spooky-ish theme to it.
It doesn't take a lot to add some presentation.
No, you just add a bit of a story to it, don't you? You just add a bit of a story, and that's the thing. And it's finding the right time to do those sort of effects where you have got a couple of minutes with the people that you can sit there and, you know, really go through it. But so we've got, hopefully this month, we're trying to get them ready, but hopefully this month we're also going to have, as I mentioned before, the Gibbon, which is on the new Pro Size stock. They're being manufactured as we speak. I've got a new tarot card routine, which I am super excited about. It uses an old principle of mine that I never think has been put to better use than with this tarot thing. But that, unfortunately, that won't be out for Halloween, but it will play all year. It's such a great little effect. A bit on the darker side, but it's there. Do you know what? The last couple of years, it's really strange. I was speaking to Harry about this, because I used to release maybe one trick every 3 years. I think I sort of put so much effort into making everyone else's tricks, making sure they're all, you know, as good as they can be and everything else. So I just don't really do my own stuff. But the last couple of years, I've really started to sort of put my stuff out, which I'm quite excited about, you know, because a lot of it I've had for a long time, and it's just been sitting there.
Harry said to me as well that, I think he said it on the live last week, that there might be another Peter Nardi, Harry Nardi co-effect coming out sometime soon.
Yes.
But he didn't tell me any more than that, so I'm as much in the dark to what this is as everybody else is at the moment.
If I can get this done, I think you do know what it is. I think I have told you about it. It's it's a very up-to-date version of a very old trick, and it's one of my favourite tricks to do in the shop.
Right, okay.
If I say a card collector's convention.
Yes, I think I know which one it is now.
You don't, do you?
I didn't know that Harry was involved in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, the
That's
little
cool.
man.
I think I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah. If
We had a
I
great time last week. We were talking.
Yeah, it really
Sorry.
looked like you did. I mean, it was so funny on the live.
And I didn't know as well, when you look at that screen in front of you there, you can see all the comments coming up from Facebook and YouTube. And I was looking at it because I had my phone open. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And that's a clever bit of kit, that. Clever bit of kit.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can have a look here. There's Darren Bain, and I'll just bring him up on screen. Boom. How cool was that?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. Harry told me to stop keep putting people up on the screen. I was going.
Well, Darren actually did make a point there. He's seen the Zodiac box. With any luck, that is coming out this month.
That's also another great effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, it's one of those ones where it's when you watch it, it's by Chris Congreve, and it's based on one of Chris's older routines, which is phenomenal. I think this is more commercial.
I think this will have more of an impact with people.
Yeah, and it's got more of a connection.
Yeah. So I love the other version of this trick. I think it's brilliant. I first saw you doing it on a dealer dem actually, and I spoke to Chris about it, and yeah, I've been performing it ever since, and I love it. And then when you showed me, and to be fair, you showed me the Zodiac behind you, and I didn't even correlate that it was the same trick that I was doing, because you're so wrapped up in the story and everything else that's happening. Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, hopefully that will be out this month. It'll be a great release.
Yeah, well, they're all in. So I mean, do you know what we've got a problem, and it's a fantastic problem. And we've never been in this situation before. Where I mean, you've been down to the shop. You know how many effects are packaged and sitting out back, just waiting to be released. There are so many. There's some that are half made, and we're waiting for this, and we need to do filming and everything else.
The problem is, I'll come down again after a couple of weeks, and there'll be half that many again. You know, oh, we've got these finished now, or the prototype, we've done that now. Oh, we're just waiting for the last bit, or the instruction cards to come for those, and that'll be done. And this just needs to be packaged up, and they'll be done. And you look at it and go, Jesus.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. And the thing is, we don't like releasing one trick every day or one trick every week, because it's too much. We want people to be able to buy the trick, learn it, enjoy it. The problem is sometimes, you know, you release so much stuff that you don't get to really learn it and really learn not only the moves, but the trick. Learn how to present it, learn how to show it, perform it. So we try and keep it down to the live launches once a month. This month, I think that's going to be up in the air because we've got so many things that are really nicely geared towards Halloween that we're trying to get out in time, but they will work all year round. I mean, they're great effects either way, but it's just a nice time to have them. And now obviously we've got Ace Magic on board. We're most probably going to have 2 live launches a month, one on the Ace Magic ALAKAZAM side of it and the other on the ALAKAZAM, because even though Ace Magic have joined us, we're co-creating their products, but ALAKAZAM has still got its own products. So we will still have our ALAKAZAM sort of launches. And they've got a big product coming out for the end of November. So it'll be a great, if you want stuff to put on your Christmas list, this is great. And also there is a brand new trick by Chris Congreve coming out at the end of November. You know what this is. Yeah. This thing is phenomenal. Chris, I bought the rights off Chris for this trick, I think it was late last year. So I knew exactly how it was done. I bought the rights and everything else. But like usual, it gets put on the shelf because I'm working on 10 other things, and then you eventually get round to it. When he came down to do his academy, he said, "Oh, I've got that trick. Do you want me to show you?" And I went, "Oh, do it on Harry. I know what it is." And he did it on Harry, and I thought, I ain't got a clue. I can't remember how it's done. So that's coming out, and
you did to me and the guys when we came down, and I was clueless. It was just so lovely. You went, boom, do this, and I ain't got a clue what just happened.
And do you know what? It's not a card trick.
It's not a card. Yeah, I was going to say it's not a card trick. It's something that will work beautifully on stage, in parlour, to small groups. It's you can do it close up, but you could do it walk around. Yes, yep, and it lends itself to so many different elements. I love it. It's great. And there's still you've told me about it now a lot, and I've seen it a few times, but there's still elements of it I still don't get. So I'm looking forward to get one and go.
It's one. Do you know what? It's one of those weird ones, because this was the thing. When Chris performed it on Harry, I said, "Do you know what? I feel really stupid, but I can't. I know what the method is, but I can't see how that method's in play." And he went, "Well, I'll do it again if you want." So he done it again, and I went, "Now I'm even more messed up. I don't get it. It's super simple, but it messes with your mind." And I don't want to, because we keep talking like this and we're not telling them anything, but guys, we have got some hot stuff coming out for the last quarter. And if any of you guys are attending Andy Nyman's convention in November, we may have a few new bits there.
Nice.
I will say as well, Darren asked about the new Poison Companion deck. Right, so there is news on that. Nicholas, being Nicholas, has added about another 4 or 5 effects to the routine. So we've had to get 4 or 5 or 10 new cards designed, which we've done. So we are expecting final, fingers crossed, final prototypes of the new Poison deck next week. A deck will be going off to Nicholas. He will be filming his routines, and then it will be released. So I expect the Poison deck to be released in November. So hopefully October is going to be a pretty decent month for releases. We've had sort of Zoltar, even though we sold out in, I think it was 1 hour 36 minutes last night. That's the quickest we've ever sold out. I mean, I only had 1 in stock, but it was quick. But we have got more of these, I think, coming in at the end of the week. But so we've had this month, and hopefully we will have this. Do you know what? I absolutely love. I told you the story I had for it, didn't I? About walking through the graveyard and everything, and you come to the crossroads. Yeah, and it's just, this is perfect. And Harry has done such a great job designing the wallet and everything else, Harry's really stepped up to sort of get involved in the manufacturing of products and production as well, which is great.
He was fully in control last week.
Yeah,
he was fully in control.
Yeah.
Well, he was telling us what to do all the time. Go and make me tea, call him sir. I had to ask him if I could use the toilet. He was fully in control. Yeah.
Goodman.
Please, Mr. Harry. Please, Mr. Harry, can I go to the toilet? He said no a couple of times, but I think that was just laying down his authority, So, I had to make him tea and, basically just worship him and stuff. No, it was good. No, he was fully in control last week. He was, it was good.
Yeah, he's doing well. So, I've got another trailer, and this one actually is for, I believe it's for this, isn't it? Is it Deceased? I've got the trailer for?
Yes, I think so. You said you were going to put the trailer on for it.
Yeah, I think I've got the trailer for this. So we're going to play
The
trailer
return.
roulette. Should we have a look?
Press that button. Go for it. It'll either be that or it won't be.
Yeah. You push the button, Wayne.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story, quite a disturbing story. But before we do, I have a little envelope. Andy, I'm going to give you this envelope, but please look after it, because if you don't, you will be cursed.
Okay.
Good. So this is a story about the tentative murders. 10 people who sat down at dinner at 10 o'clock, but only 8 of them left. That's because 2 of them were actually murderers. Now they were invited to this meal, and a poison was placed in their glasses, and it rendered them incapacitated. They could not move. Now they could see and they could hear, but they couldn't act on anything. So neither of you know anything about these murders, but we're going to give you sort of an experiment. We're going to try a little experiment. So I'm going to give you 5 photos each, and I want you to place them face up behind your back for me.
Okay.
Good. And what I want you to do is I want you to reach inside and take out any picture, any one that you feel drawn to. Let me know when you have one.
Yep.
Good. The concentration is real. Good. And what I want you to do is to take the rest of the photos out. Now, do not let go of your selection. Pull out the other photos. Good. I'll help you by swapping them over, but I'll do nothing here. And I want you to place them behind your back for me. Now, to disorientate you a little bit more, Harry, what I want you to do is to take your selection, turn it over and put it on top. And then cut it somewhere inside your photos so that you have one face the opposite way.
Yep.
Andy, I want you to do the same. Place your photo on top and then cut it inside so that your photo is the opposite way to the rest. Are you done? So both of you have made a selection. You have both handled everything. I've not done anything. Yep. This is all down to you. And you didn't let go of your photo. Is that fair? Good. I want you to bring your pictures out and place them down here for me. Now, if you spread them, you should see that there is one picture face down. One picture the opposite way, the one that you never let go of. Now we'll have a look at who it was that you picked out. This lady and this man. Now, did you feel compelled to pick these people? Did you feel like you were influenced into it at all?
I felt drawn to it. But...
Good, that was the spirit that's behind you. He made you do that. In fact, it's this chap here. Now, I gave you an envelope at the very beginning. Can you take out that envelope for me? And no one's been near this, is that fair? Now, in here, I actually placed the pictures of the murderers who were there that day. The 2 murderers, the only 2 that you could have picked a perfect match. Now, the thing is, if this story is true, if this really is a thing that happened, then everyone else here would be dead. Dead, dead, dead. Every single person dead. And like I said, these were the only 2 killers, and that's why on the back they do actually say killer.
Yeah, he's not disturbed much, is he? I think my chair's sunk down a little bit.
Yeah, you did look a lot shorter. So Tony Middleton said, will Jamie Dawes be doing a TTT this year? Yes, there are plans to do it. Hopefully the tickets will go on sale next week. He has been working since last October on it. He always does, and he always sends little ideas. And if you follow Jamie on Facebook, you might see a few of those little ideas. He puts up like little teaser pictures. And he put one up the other day, which was a Etch-a-Sketch with TTT written on it. TTT5.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. It's one of my favourite nights of the year, even though he always tries to freak me out. So there's a couple of questions coming in. Any plans on doing a new Zoltar video? Yeah, I am going to be filming a new video. It's pretty much the same because it is what it is, the Zoltar deck. But I will be filming a new video for it because there are a couple of little additional handling bits that I've come up with using this particular deck. So I will film that in the next week or so, and that will be basically the video that's up there now will just be replaced. So your same code and password will work to get that. And Darren Baines said, Zoltar is amazing. My Beyond Stebbins project arrived yesterday, and that is so clever. And that is really, Beyond Stebbins as well. You guys done an amazing job on the launch. I think we sold out the next day.
Yeah, Harry said they sold out, and well, he said one colour always sells out more than the other.
The red.
But yeah, and he said, but the blue was very, very close behind. It wasn't like, oh, we haven't got red, so you got to have blue. It was like steady all the way through it. Everybody wanted it.
Well, yesterday, yesterday, Jenny was making up decks all day. So if you've got one on pre-order, they should hopefully be going out today. That's why Harry isn't here, because he had all the Zoltar orders to do and all the Beyond Stebbins to do. So he's got so many parcels to get out today. But if you were waiting for Beyond Stebbins, they should have been sent out today, or they should be sent out today. And we're making more decks sort of on a regular basis to keep up with demand. So if you want one, you haven't got one yet, even if it says out of stock, go pre-order one. It should only be a few days wait, and they should be coming back. But we can only make them. They're quite time consuming, so we can only make batches at a time. So yeah.
And by we you mean Jenny?
Yeah. Yeah, by we I mean Jenny. Let me have a look. David Jonathan, our very talented friend from the States. Lots of good stuff in the pipeline. You're going to make everyone go broke. Do you know what? There is so much good stuff. I'm just so excited about everything.
I'm playing with this at the moment.
Genius.
By the very talented David Jonathan.
Yeah.
Just absolutely love it. And
you picked up Stroop.
And I picked up Stroop, which is in is it in here? There we go, my Stroop test.
Yeah.
There we go. I love Stroop. And I've been very fortunate that David Jonathan's got a trick coming out with Nicholas Mavrefis that I've been asked to have a little look at, and I've watched it over the last few days, and it's amazing. And David, you and Nicholas are very, very clever guys. Very clever guys. Really clever. Makes me sick, actually. It annoys me.
Honestly, they are. Nicholas showed me something yesterday, which you haven't seen yet, but I'll show you it at some point. But once again, Nicholas, we're bringing this out. We're bringing 2 new effects out of Nicholas hopefully this year, and we've got 2 new ones for early next year. So yeah, it's really good. You're right up your street. But you're right, they're so creative. You know, it's commercial. The other thing I like about their stuff is it's always direct.
Yeah.
You know, it's just always direct. It's just got a nice sort of premise to it, and you don't have to think about it. You know, anyone that shows you these ultra complicated effects where you've got to sit there and think, I don't really know what the magic was there. There's it's always like, there it is, bang, and it hits you with it, you know. Someone said, Darren Bain said, halfway through Wayne's wedding book now, very informative. He would have read it all, but he got distracted by 3 times a maybe, which he really likes.
That's right. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who's bought 3 times a maybe. And if you do like it, please leave a review on the site and for the wedding book as well. So Harry gave it a nice shout out last week as well. He's really enjoyed reading the wedding book.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. He really liked it.
What's really inspired me there is that so with the exception of Remote Control 1 and 2, the 2 books that we did as a package thing on the download, all my books really, apart from the joke books as well, have been theory books. Compares, hecklers, getting restaurants, weddings, presentation and showmanship. So they've all been theory books, and they've all done really, really well. And people, I think it shows there is a need. It's not always, people aren't always just thinking about the tricks. It's also about the skills that go with it, and the other side too. It's show business. You need to have the business to do the show, and yeah, it's really, really like inspired me there, because it's sort of like so many people have read the wedding book and really liked it, and I'm so pleased and proud to be the person to write it.
Yeah, no, it's great, and it's sort of the same approach when we started the academy. A lot of people that were doing a similar thing, like the live teachings and everything else, they would say, we just want trick, 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 trick. Whereas I always made it clear to the tutors on the academy that, yes, we want the trick, but then we want to know why it works, how you present it, and where are the strong points. Because I know that, and it's the same for me as it is for other people, but I have, Spellers will ring me up, or Jamie Dawes will ring me up, or even you ring me up, and we chat about something, and you'll show me a trick, and I'll go, oh, if you switch that reveal with that reveal, it will heighten your impact. And that's very important. That sort of stuff is very important, understanding what to do. And I know I come to you with stuff and you do the same thing. If you switch that with that will make it. And it's those little things to me that are worth more than the trick itself. It's that sort of knowledge. So books like the Heckler's book, the wedding book, and that's what got Harry so excited about it, was all the information. And he's, Harry's done a few weddings. He hasn't done hundreds. He hasn't been doing it that long. But all the information he's gathering from that book is answering the questions that will be going round in his head. Yeah. And that's the thing, you're giving them a kickstart, basically.
What do I do? How do I do this? How do I make sure I get seen there? How do I, utilize that time to do this or that? I tried to make the book as, full as I can. But thank you, Darren, as well. Thank you for the comment. It's really nice to know that you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And 3 times a maybe as well, which I love.
Yeah, it's a great trick. We have got a question here, which is, what's your favourite deck switch device? Now, that will depend on what the routine is. Because, a lot of the time I'll literally just switch a deck in my pocket. I used to use a deck shell. But it depends what routine you're going for, because one of the nicest ones, we put out something, well, it wasn't us actually, it was the Heirloom Workshop. And I think we still got them in stock, but they're a beautiful little wooden box. And you open the box, you've got one deck of cards, and I think it's post-it notes on this side or paper or something. So you take out the deck, you use it, you put the deck down, and when you reopen the box and take the deck out, it's switched. And that's really nice. So if you're performing somewhere like that, where you're doing a sit-down parlour thing, you're going to do a card trick and then maybe go into a coin trick or the collector or something else, you've got a reason to put the deck away. Something like that is beautiful and undetectable. Whereas, it really depends. A deck switch is one of those things where you use the right tool for the right job. So
I do a deck switch. Sorry, Pete. Go on, Pete. You finish first.
No, I was going to say, if you want to get us on the live chat or give us a call in the shop and tell us where, what routine do you want to do the deck switch on, we'll be able to advise you the best way to go. But when I'm out working, when I was doing sort of walk around and stuff like that, any switches I need to do would usually happen either, if I was doing a table set, I would do a card trick, put the deck away, do a coin trick, rope trick, sponge balls, whatever it might be, ring flight, and then take apparently the deck out again, and it's, the job's been done.
I do a deck switch almost at every single table now, because I finish off by bringing in the Moby deck, which is a very heavy metal block with a card on top of the bottom. So you get this lovely, lovely bang. And so I switch it in. One bit of advice I would say is if you want to do a deck switch and you want to do it like in the hands and not using a device, etc., one of the things that I do quite a lot of tables is I will do a full deck vanish. So I'll have the card selected, I'll do a multiple routine with the card, give the card back, have it signed, etc. Do multiple things with their top changes and, oh, here you go, it's not your card, but boom, now it's your card. And then I'll throw the card into their hand, have it switch again. And at that point, I will just get all the cards in a thumb clip and just drop them into my pocket. And then when I take their card back and I say, oh, check this out, I put the card back in the pack, and now it's the only card that's actually there. The rest of the pack has vanished. Now, there's no heat on me because everyone's looking at the card, so I can ditch the packet. But now I use that same move almost when I'm going to bring the Moby deck into play. So I'll have the Moby deck palmed. I'll bring the other cards. I've got it here. This is a blue decked one. I'll bring the other pack in. So I'll take the pack here. I'll just clip those, put them into my pocket as I bring this deck forward. Sorry, the top card's peeling off. As I bring this forward, and then I'm finished with the card and then go straight into doing the reveal of it being not a normal deck of cards. So I think if you play around with a deck vanish, it will make getting rid of the deck a lot easier when it comes time to doing that.
Yeah, and there was it was elaborated on that post as well. I intend to do an impromptu mentalism card effect and then end with the awesome triple impact. Now, if the mentalism card effect uses a normal deck with no writing on the back, then you don't have to have a deck switch, because one deck's got writing on the back and one deck hasn't. So there's a reason to bring both decks into play. And I used to use triple impact a hell of a lot when I was working tables. And what I used to do is I used to bring the triple impact deck out, put it in a glass if there was a glasser, and say, look, there's something very special with this deck, which I'll show you at the end. But before we get on to that, let's try this. And then I'd hand them a normal deck. But there is a reason. You don't have to, unless your original deck's going to have writing and you want it to appear to be the same deck, then you don't need a deck switch. It's like using these and then putting them away and getting a bicycle deck out. I'm not going to continue using these because these have done their job. They're a special deck. Yeah. You know, the Zoltar, the mind reading deck. Or if you're doing something with spread, the deck itself has got a reason. Oh, let me show you. Have you ever seen these movie cards? Let me show you something with these. But once you've done it, you put them away and get your normal ones out. So it's not like, I know I've seen a lot of sort of people, amateur magicians, when they get into magic and they go, oh, let me show you a card trick. I'll put that deck away, get one out that looks identical, and I'll show you another card trick. Put that away, and then you're not doing that because you're bringing out a deck that has a reason to be a separate deck. I hope that makes sense.
I do Trilogy a lot. I love Trilogy, and I do the Trilogy Extreme.
Oh, hang on.
I actually bring them out.
No, sorry, that's my fault. I thought he meant Trilogy. He doesn't. He means triple impact, in which case he would have a switch. I thought he meant Trilogy. So I'll get onto that in a mo. Yeah, go on then. What were you saying?
I was going to say I do Trilogy, and I always I bring them out and I say this is a special deck of cards, and then I open the pack and I bring them out and I say they're not special because there's duplicates. I say there's not duplicates. I spread through the deck to show the faces, and then I say they're special because, and I flip them over and say I've written on the back of the cards. I've got numbers on the back. Which means unless I invent another trick that has numbers on the back, I only use it for this trick. And I want it to be a full deck, which it is, and then I put it back in the box and I go into the routine. So I kind of highlight the fact that it's a special deck, but not a trick deck. And I kind of, I make that a point of impact. So when at the end, when they're going, well, yeah, he could have picked any number, or, he chose the numbers, it all appears very fair and free. And I find that really works for me. I was wondering when you were talking about writing on the back with triple impact. I was like,
for some reason I thought it was Trilogy, But do you know what I used to do to switch from one to the other to go into Trilogy? So if I was using a normal deck, I would put the deck away so it's in its box, and I'd say, actually, have you got time for me to show you something else? This would be really interesting. Now, I'd reach into both pockets, switch decks in one pocket as I take out a pen and a business card out of the other pocket and put the triple impact deck down. And now I will write the card that's going to end up in your back pocket on the business card and place it on the table. So now I can go through both versions or both phases of the new triple impact, and then I've got that final prediction as well of the card that's in your back pocket. But if you've never seen that switch before, I mean, you must have done it 100 times, where you just sort, it's like you're reaching in to find the pen, but your both hands go in the pocket and one of them's switching while you're bringing.
If anybody wants to see that in action, if you go to my website, waynegoodman.co.uk, and go to the bottom of the homepage, there's a 12-minute video there from the Blackpool British Magical Championships competition, and it's my entry a few years back. And the second to last trick, I actually do that for the last trick. So I take the deck of cards, and as I go into my pocket to get something else, you'll see the cards go into my left pocket, but when my hands come out, the cards are now in my right pocket, and I think I've gone in to get a pen. Whereas they go in together and they come out together, but now one's got the pen and the cards, and nobody picks up on it. It's
no,
invisible.
And there's another great one that I used to do, and this is the one that I used to do for the extractor when I first brought out the extractor. And you know, when I'm performing, I'm wearing a suit, so I always had a suit on for that. So if you wear a suit jacket or a jacket with an outside and inside pocket, this works great. You have your triple impact deck in your left hand outside jacket pocket, your pen and your business card in your inside pocket. So you take the deck, close the deck, open your jacket, and as you open your jacket, this hand now goes down as you're getting your pen out, switch decks, and when you come back, everything's exactly the same as it was. And your jacket is providing you with all the cover. And I'm sure if you watch the extractor trailer, you most probably see that going on. It's most probably a weird angle, because I think it was filmed from this way, but you'll see the movement of the jacket and everything happening. Yeah, I think the angle's it's not head on. I think the angle was coming over, so I don't think you can see it, but you can see the timing and everything.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. That's really nice.
So, right, I believe that is it, my friend, for today.
We've gone over.
We have gone over. Yeah, we got another question before we go. Although I still can't decide between Eliminator because they're both great. Yeah, you're right. Eliminator and Triple Impact are both incredible routines. And both of them are strong enough to be closers. Both of them. Right, so we've had Extractor is by far the best deck I've ever used. I loved it so much. Right, so Graham.
I can't see the comments; they're not coming up on mine.
Oh, hang on, I haven't put it up. I keep trying to do it, but people keep putting another comment down, so it's dropping down as I'm pressing it. Great. What would you say is the best scenario for any card at impossible location? I don't really understand the question. Do you mean what's the best place for it to appear, or what's the best place to do that type of effect? Let us know what you mean.
Are you saying, Graham, about things like using a mystery box or a Lego box or a wine glass or the paperclip version? There's so many different cards to impossible locations. To be honest, and I'm a bit biased on this, I think my favourite has to be Look Sharp, because they're holding the impossible location in their hand.
Yeah.
So for me, Look Sharp would definitely be the best. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, it is. He's just put, the best place to appear. I think Look Sharp's a great one. I got so many great reactions out of that. And Card to Wallet, I still do. I still do to this day. I still think, I used to do it in an envelope.
My favourite Card to Wallet.
Yeah, that's what I'm using now. And it's nice. It's a good size, and it's just a great routine, a really good routine. There's a few more things coming out. Dean James said, what's the best marked deck out there? There is method in that, or madness in that question, or method in that question. I don't know what to say. There's method in that madness, something like that. You'll be hearing more about Dean.
My mark deck, which I'm never allowed to show on here.
Have you still not done it?
No,
we'll see if we can do it next week.
Yeah, that's what we always say. We always say, we'll see if we can do it next week. You've told so many people, every time Russ comes on, he tells the story about what you did to me at the filming.
We will do it. My phone's going off and it's now Alakazam Magic. Right, don't get it. Right, so Dean James is telling me to drop the trailer. Dean, I can't just drop a trailer. I've got to download it, put it into the system, connect it up to this. If you know what I go through to set this all up, with Wayne just sitting there having to shut up for 10 minutes.
I've learned so many new swear words. It's lovely. I just sit here, I don't say a word. I've got my cup of tea. I'm just going, oh, that's a new one. I'll write that one down.
He's got a new book coming out. Words Peter Says. While setting up the live.
I might do that. That'd be a good one. Just the combinations.
Wayne.
Oh, here I've got some. Yes.
I'm thinking of getting myself a new book. I'm looking for something that's maybe a bit of a thriller.
Okay.
Maybe written by one of the ALAKAZAMers. Anything you can recommend?
A thriller? Well, there's only one person I would go to.
Who's that?
That's Darren Bain.
Darren Bain? Has he got a book out?
Has he got a book out? It's amazing. It's called Wicked Tongue. What a book.
Where could I buy such a book?
I think if you contact Darren on his Facebook, he's always commenting on here, so you'll easily be able to find him. And he's got a brilliant book. He's getting rave reviews. Wicked Tongue by Darren Bain.
I'll be checking it out.
If I had a copy here now, I'd hold it up for him. But
so would I. But I haven't got a copy. Right, guys.
I have seen actual reviews for it, and people really are liking it. It's a really, really good book.
He's a very talented guy. Yeah. So, guys, if you like your thrillers, you like your book, go and support one of our ALAKAZAMers. Darren, you can put it in the chat where they can get it, whether it's direct from your website or whether it's on Amazon or whatever. Drop the link in here, and hopefully some of our viewers and team and family and community will go and buy one of your books and enjoy that. And it's coming up to Christmas. What better time to buy yourself a book or get yourself a video or something to watch? We all have a few days off over Christmas. That's what I like doing. That's when I get time to sit down, learn some magic. You don't. No time off for you.
Do you know what? Last Christmas was the first Christmas day in 30 years that I've not worked.
Wow. I've never worked Christmas Day.
I'm not trying to brag on nothing. This isn't what they call flexing now, but in the town next to my town, there's a giant cathedral, Ely Cathedral. It's a very famous cathedral, and every year they do a Christmas lunch for people who can't afford it and people who are you know, they can't afford. They've got a big family. They can't afford to put it all together, etc. And I heard about this charity, and so I phoned them up and I said, "Would you like some close-up magic?" And they said, "We can't afford it." And I said, "Well, that's good because I'm not going to charge you for it." And I went over there, and I was literally, it was heartbreaking seeing. I thought it was going to be a lot of older people who are on their own, who can't be bothered to cook for themselves, and it wasn't. There were families there, there was children there, and I didn't know there was going to be children there because I'd done a fundraiser and I raised 150 quid and bought a load of toys and took them along so Santa would have presents for the kids to all have, and I took a whole bunch of toys over for that. And then I was talking to one guy, so each of the meals cost £10, but nobody's asked for any money. So if they can afford to give some money, they can, but if they can't afford it, nobody's embarrassed, and you know, by saying, "Oh, I can't afford it." But there was a family there that I knew, and I was talking to the dad, and he said, "Well, we've got like 6 of us in the family. We haven't really got the room to cook a big meal because they live in a small house." He said, "So we come here, and it's £10 each, and £8 each for the kids." He said, "But we pay £200, so that covers our meals and 2 other people, and 2 other people for each of us. We pay for 2 other people." And he goes, "We'd spend 200 quid on turkey and potatoes and all that, and a lot of it would go to waste. Here we can put the same money and a few bottles or whatever. Here we can put the same money down and give, you know, so for their 6 people or 8, so whatever it was, they're paying for 2 other sets of the same." And he goes, "And the kids go and play with the kids, the adults will talk, it's a really friendly, warm environment. You know, some people will just sit there not talking, they'll go over and talk to them as well and encourage them to join in the group, and they've made friends through that." So yeah, it's a really nice communal. I'm really proud to be, you know, to do.
And that
to do
is why you are the legend, Wayne Goodman. So any days that I get up and think he ain't that nice, really, you then throw something like this at me.
Well,
you are a legend, Mr. Goodman.
I'm not. I'll tell you what it is, though, Pete. I've had bad things happen. I got hit by a car, I lost my home in a fire, and I've had other bad things happen to me over the years. And I'm not a drama person. I don't post all about it on Facebook and stuff. But what people have done, like when I lost my home in a fire, a lot of the magic community came behind me. My friend Ollie set up a secret GoFundMe. And a lot of the magic community, people are doing. One person, I won't name him, but one person I have had an ongoing argument with for years, all because of a comment I made. He jumped on it and we've argued over. Even he donated to it, and I reached out to him and said, "Forget everything else." That it had me in tears. And so, anytime I can give something back or do something that's selfless, I feel like I'm paying back a tiny little bit of what care and support has been given to me in the past. So me going and giving up my Christmas Day when I haven't got Charlie's at her mum's, I'm here on my own. What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to sit here. I'll probably open a bottle of Jack Daniels, or I'll put some films on and eat some sweets. I'd rather go out and bring joy on the most important day of the year for joy to people who maybe, you know, I don't want to say are worse off than me, or you know,
but in a different situation, a different
situation. And I don't have a lot of money, but what I do have is an ability and a skill, and I've got time, so use it. It's not always about getting the paycheck. It's not always about, these magicians who say, "Oh, well, you know, if they're not going to pay, I'm not going to be interested." You know, sometimes I will go out and do something that does nothing for me, because, you know, it's not always about me. Saying that, I'm a bit of a legend.
You are a legend, and you will be. I've heard you're joining us for our Christmas ALAKAZAM party here in the studio.
I'm just waiting for the date so I can firm it up in the diary.
I told you.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. No, you said there was 2 dates.
No, but it's both dates.
No, one's the following week.
Right. Okay.
That's a hell of a party if we're going from there. Was that what you said to me last night? Because I was rough as anything last night. I may not have heard you.
I believe that the ALAKAZAM live Christmas party is happening on the 15th of December. So guys, pencil that into your calendars. The 15th of December will be the ALAKAZAM live Christmas party. I think that's a Wednesday, is it?
Yes.
I think that's a Wednesday. And as per usual, we are going to be giving away a huge amount of magic on the evening. And it's our way of just saying thank you to the Alakazam community for supporting us. I mean, it's been a hard time for all of us the last couple of years, been a very strange time. You guys have always been there for us, and I hope we've been there for you. But the 15th of December, it's when it's going to be happening. Hopefully we're going to have a good crowd here, and Wayne, and we will be we'll be giving away loads of stuff and just having loads of fun.
I can't wait. I
It's
will
going to be
mark it in the
great.
diary.
Good stuff.
And this is going to be great, but that is a little greater.
There he goes.
I had the close-up case here. I had to get it out. I had to get out the close-up cases here.
I just spotted mine actually, or Harry's in the editing room. Right. So.
Yeah, that's the one that I left down there.
Right. Yeah.
That's the one that I left down there. I said you could have it.
Oh, cool. Thank you, matey.
Well, I stole your boomerang, apparently.
I don't think I need to speak to Wayne and the other guys, because someone said, "Are we going to need tickets for it?" But last year, I think we just did it on Facebook and YouTube. It really depends if we have a quiz, because I think the quiz doesn't work well in the account, because I think there's too much of a delay. But it works on Facebook and YouTube. So once we decide if we're going to have it there, the only time we do it in the accounts if there's going to be like a lot of magic exposure. So it really depends what route we're going to go. If we're going to be teaching some free tricks on the evening, then it will most probably happen in your accounts. You might have to pick up a ticket. Tickets will be totally free of charge. But if not, if it's just going to be a fun night, giveaway, telling jokes, having a little competition, having a few bevies, then we'll just do it on Facebook and YouTube. It's going to be great, mate. You've never done one, have you?
I've never done one. No, I've watched them, but I've never been there live one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Can I just very quickly add before we go as well? I know that we're overrun, but just looking down the list, we have got a few people. So I've been adding this to other magic groups, and I would just say if anybody's a member of a magic group on Facebook that I haven't added it to, and you're a member of that group, feel free to share this when we go live with those groups. We are getting a lot more people in other parts of the world and the UK who haven't been on the show before. So make sure you like the Alakazam page and click the notification bell so that you'll be told whenever we go live, which means you'll be told about the live launches, special events, and also every Tuesday at 2:00. So you'll be able to catch up, so you won't miss out, and we won't be strong and think, oh, I missed it because I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Click the
No, that would be
notification
great.
bell.
And the other thing I was going to say as well, Wayne, I wanted to speak to you about this, and I want to hear what these guys say as well. I'm thinking of maybe once a month, the live moves from 2:00 to 7:00. So once a month, we do an evening live.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a
So
good idea.
people in America can watch as well. So how do you guys feel about that? We'll keep it. I mean, it's not something we're going to do instantly. We have to discuss it and everything. But once a month, the live will be at 7:00 rather than 2:00. So you can all have your dinner and we can spend sort of the evening together, chatting away, reviewing tricks. And really.
Also people who have work, who might miss them because they're at work. Like you say, the American people, people in Australia, because they'll be up at that time as well. Yeah, that's cool. When we did when I did my restaurant, when I did a Zoom for my wedding book.
Yeah.
If anybody bought it, they all got a code that they could Zoom in. Now, I have asked, and I am going to repeat that and do another one maybe in November. I'm just going to sort of date out. But we had one guy who got up at 4:00 in the morning because he was in Australia, and he got up at 4:00 in the morning to join the Zoom.
Yeah.
Which really shows, the commitment and people will do that if it's worthwhile. So I think once a month, for people around the world, it would be great to have them on. And I think brilliant idea.
And anyone that sort of follows my Saturday showdowns, I'm planning on, we're going to keep the Saturday showdowns as a weekly thing, but I'm thinking it might not happen this year. It might start off in January, but I'm thinking of doing a monthly showdown, but it will be a video. So it will actually be a YouTube video show where I talk about the best sellers of the month and new stuff that's coming in and other bits and bobs. So we'll still have the Saturday showdown on the emails. I love doing them because it's very interesting for me. And what's that? Someone at your door?
No, just the biggest flash of lightning past my window. Like
really?
The biggest flash of lightning. Oh my goodness. I thought someone had taken a picture.
I will say this as well, because you didn't get any praise for it. We missed the Saturday showdown 1 week when I was on holiday. Who was number one that week, Wayne?
Who was number one that week? That'd be a really interesting question. I know a lot of people are wondering who got number one for not last week but the week before for the Saturday showdown. I think it's a really big.
It was
really
you.
Big, I know. Was it me? Really? Well, not 3 times a maybe. The great download.
It was 3 times a maybe, yeah.
A ridiculously low price available right now on the website. That's I'm super chuffed, and thank you again to everyone who's bought it. I hope you like performing it. I have a blast with it, so I hope you enjoy it too. But
brilliant.
Yeah.
So guys, we are half hour over time. Thank you so much as always for joining us, and thank you to Wayne, our live regular. Wayne,
Always
also www.
I sent you the files.
Yep.
So hopefully tomorrow. No pressure, Pete.
We've got a Wayne's Wizarding Wednesday's Wonders.
A Wayne's Wednesday Wizarding Wonders, and tomorrow I'm talking about 3 tricks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it too much away, but I will just say very quickly that one of the tricks I was going to show us earlier. One of the tricks I've already done on another Wayne's Wednesday, so I don't really go too much into it, but it's just a recap on this little beauty, which if you do family shows and you want something for Halloween, this is a variation on the colouring book, and it comes with a few extra little, scary man. He looks like the old man from the Squid Game.
I'm loving the Squid Game.
What episode are you on? What episode?
6, I think. We're just about to start 6, I think.
Oh, you get into the good stuff now, I tell you.
Yeah.
Somebody, JJ Lucia put up, he watched series, I think it might have been, I can't think if he said 4, I think it was 4 or 6. He goes, that was a hard watch. But there's one episode that's really hard to watch. JJ Lucia, he's the magician that does all the tricks for deaf-blind people who are deaf and blind. And he does a lot of charity work. He's a real legend. He's a real hero. He devises shows and tricks for people who have sensory, deprivation. People who can't see and hear. My brother's deaf, but he can see. But these people can't see or hear, and he comes up with ideas for tricks for them. So he's a proper hero. But yeah, he put up. I think it was it might have been episode 6. And he put that was a hard watch. So it just gets better and better. I heard today that they are in talks for a 2nd season. So,
really?
But it hasn't been confirmed yet. It does. Right. And I don't want to spoil anything. But
no, I was just going to ask you a question. I thought I don't want to know.
Do you know? It's one of those ones where they could end it at the end of season 1 and never do another one. Yeah. But apparently Netflix has said it's fast. It's only a few zeros away from being its most successful show ever produced. Wow. And I don't think they'd let it get away with just 1 season. Criminal was supposed to only be 1 season, but Criminal UK was so popular, they made a 2nd one, and now hopefully they're going to do a 3rd one as well. So I think, hopefully Squid Game 2. If you haven't watched it, it is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. And watch it on Netflix. Over 18s only.
It's not as horror as you think it's going to be.
No.
It's not really as gory, but it is good. It's really, really good. Love it.
Right, Wayne,
Well, I'm
we've
gonna
got to
shut
go
up now.
because I've got editing to do.
Yeah, you have before 12 o'clock tomorrow. Wayne's Wednesday Wizarding Wonder, episode 12.
Right.
Next week, the one in 2 weeks' time, is possibly my newest favourite effect. So,
And you know what? I've just ordered one for Harry.
have you? It's a great. It's possibly my newest favourite. I talk about it quite a lot on the video, and yeah, I'm very, very pleased that I've got one, and yeah, I think everyone will love it. So that'll be in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks tomorrow.
Cool. Well, Wayne, usually we hang around for a chat after. We're not going to now because I'm going to pack up here, go next door, load my car up, head home, and then call you from Facebook so we can chat about the www, and I'll start getting that edited.
Yes.
So,
Perfect.
Wayne,
Well, I will
thank
see
you
you there.
so much for joining us, and I'll speak to you in about half hour.
Perfect. See you then. Thanks, Pete.
Cheers, mate. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us on this week's live. If you are interested in us doing a later evening live, let us know, because it is something I've been wanting to do for a while, because we have got more and more sort of customers that send us emails saying they can't watch us in the afternoons, and it will be great to be able to do it in the evening, and maybe do it a little bit longer, just have a bit of a chat. We can all have a little bit of a drink and chat magic and waffle on like we usually do. And also remember that date for your diaries. The 15th of December is the targeted date for the ALAKAZAM Christmas party. So write that in, and I'll be letting you know about tackling terrifying taboos really soon. So thank you very much for joining us. We will see you, I presume the next one is next Tuesday now. So we will see you next Tuesday right here at ALAKAZAM. See you then, and thanks for watching.